Hey, what's up guys? Jackson here with Toasty DIY, and today showing you the most recent investment of time and money of mine. So, I'm quite the hobbyist, as in I have way too many freaking hobbies and I need to stop, but most recently I decided to finally do what I've wanted to do for a long time and get a saltwater aquarium started. So after doing a lot of research and a lot of debating, I think that's probably one of the biggest things most people do if they haven't had a saltwater aquarium, is a lot of debating. And I finally decided, you know what, I think the only way I'm really gonna be happy if I get a big aquarium like this is if I go saltwater. So this is a 45-gallon tank that I got from PetSmart, and just by the way, I'm not an expert on any of this. I barely even consider myself I'm basically an amateur at this. This is my first personal tank. I've helped other people with tanks before, and I've had some really small, like 5 to 10 gallon tanks, but just freshwater stuff. I've never messed with saltwater, so I am very new and unexperienced at all this, but I've been doing the best I can. So yeah, what exactly I have so far, 45-gallon tank and stand. That came together with the hood as well, and that was on sale for $1.99 at PetSmart, which I thought this was a pretty good deal for a 45-gallon tank. It's a nice tall tank too. It's relatively skinny. Well, really, I don't know what you consider skinny, but I guess for 45 gallons, it's pretty tall. And I don't know if the camera does it justice, but I believe the tank's about 36 inches high. I also got a little pirate ship in the back there. That's purely decoration. That was about 50 bucks. And then if I bought that, you get one thing half off. So this right here ended up being like 24. It might have been cheaper, I don't remember, but that's like a piece of fake petrified wood. Now these over here are real. These are live rock, which, after doing some research and everything and, going to pet stores, basically from what I gather, live rock is basically, either from the ocean or typically nowadays grown at, live rock farms or basically aquatic farms where they basically either get the rock, from mining or excavating, or they even make the rock and then they grow it in environments that'll breed bacteria and stuff, because that's basically what a live rock means. Like, the rock itself isn't literally alive, it's just full of all the good and some bad bacteria and everything that needs to be in an established saltwater tank. So typically you're supposed to get 1 pound per gallon of live rock. So 45-gallon tank, we have about 45 pounds of live rock. There's also a really small one that I don't know how it got in there, but there's a small piece of live rock back there as well. But I ended up opting for like this really nice, it's like a purple mixed with a little bit of black and then a little bit of like a sand color. It looks really nice. And then on the bottom of the aquarium here, I bought that sand that is it's kind of wet sand, and it's basically like pre-mixed, like ready to go. Like, they basically say they pulled it straight from like the Bahamas or something. You'll see it at like every pet store that carries anything saltwater related, but basically you don't have to wash, you don't have to do anything, you just pour it straight in, and then all this black stuff is just really fine grained substrate. Nothing special about that. That's just really generic stuff that you can also get from like any pet store. It's basically the same as like the black pebble or any other type of aquarium rock that you can get. Now as far as like the tech goes, like I said, we do have this LED light that came with the actual aquarium. I really like it too. You can just take it right, I almost just threw it off. It comes right off, and you have a nice glass, window up top here. The actual lid itself as well has really nice little punch out tabs. So evaporation should be set to a minimum on this tank, because really the only open area we have is next to the filter here. Now the filter is an Aquarium 45-gallon, I believe is what it's rated for. Has a little LED indicator on top to let you know when it's time to change. I really don't know how accurate or how well that works, but it's a pretty nice, I think it's like a dual stage filter. Yeah, it has 2 different filters to it, and you can add and remove stuff as well. Like, I think you can actually add biomaterial and stuff like that, and you can cut your own filters. Over here we have a cord going into the power head. Now, a power head is basically just a pump. It literally just has what looks like a fan inside of it, or a turbine, and that basically moves the water like this. You can angle it, you can make it have a wider or thinner flow, and yeah, it really moves the water pretty well. In a tank this size, you really could have 2 of them, and you probably should have 2, but I wanted to keep it very minimal, so I'm gonna try just 1. I mean, really, if you look, it moves all the water throughout the tank pretty well. We even have a little bit of sediment moving here and there. Ideally, though, you really want to have sediment moving a decent amount, especially if you're going to have coral, because that's really the only way the bottom of the tank gets cleaned, is the sediment needs to move a little bit. We don't really have much of that going on, but I think it'll be fine. We'll see. I don't plan on having a whole lot of coral, so you know, we'll just have to try it. Over here we have, which I'm gonna talk about this because I don't think it's very accurate, but we have a salinity tester. This basically lets you know how much salt is in your water, because you do have to, you know, add or remove salt, and by remove I mean, you know, you change out water. But this thing right here, it seemed like it was pretty accurate until I got water moving. As soon as the water started moving, I don't know if you can see, but now it just bounces all over the place. I don't know if that's probably user error for the most part, but to my knowledge, I had a little bit too much salt. I think I was right at the tip of the green. I was around like 33. I think it's like parts per ton, if I remember correctly, of salt. And so I had a little bit too much. And so I did drain a decent amount of I drained it to about here and then filled it with just RL water, which I keep down here. That's basically just, you know, clean, like purified water to my knowledge that might have some additives in it. It's non-salt water. So I did add some of that to get the salt levels down. I also ordered a refractometer because I'm not gonna try to read this or put it in a better spot, even because I don't really know how accurate it is. I read a lot of mixed reviews, so I'd rather just have something I know 100% works. We also have a little simple thermometer. Right now, I think we got the perfect temperature right at, it looks like about 77 Fahrenheit, so that's good. And that is controlled by a little heater back there. This is only, I think, a 100-watt heater. Yeah, 100 watt. And I think it's rated for up to 40. So technically I'm a little bit over what it should be, but I do keep the house, I mean, fairly warm even in the summer, around 70 probably. So I don't see this heater having a problem keeping up. And then there's the bottom of the filter where it actually sucks the water up. I'm trying to think if there's anything else really particular about this tank, but yeah, long story short though, after talking to some people, doing research, you know, I decided to go saltwater. I do have to wait about, I'm gonna probably say 1 to 2 weeks before I can add anything. I know some places say like a month, but I was told if I added live rock early on, there's a much better chance I'll have the right ammonia levels, the right amount of bacteria, and as long as I control the salinity and heat, then I should be ready in about a week is what I was told is the minimum, before I could add possibly some fish and possibly, you know, some corals or anemones and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really excited, and I will be making some update videos, especially if, you know, anyone actually likes this video. But yeah, I'm really excited though. You know, like I said, I've been wanting to do this project for like a long time. I've always really been fascinated with saltwater life specifically. And yeah, I could just stare at tanks like for hours and just look at all like the fine details, and I think it's amazing what people can do with tanks and whatnot. So yeah, pretty excited. So yeah, stay subscribed so you guys can see any updates. Hopefully we'll get some fishing here soon for the next one, and we'll see you guys later.